Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Coach Red, where we bring you all the news, stories, takes, and opinions about your favorite teams from the Pacific North, fresh from the good to the bad to the Mariners.
The Mariners, baby. Another day closer to opening day.
We're like
Another
two
day.
weeks away.
Yeah. It's like
What time to
Christmas.
be
It's
alive?
almost
The
Christmas time.
electric factory is open for business.
Oh, speaking of Electric Factory, uh, the NFL is a buzz. NFL free agency, the legal tampering period started on Monday. We're at day 2 of legal tampering. And before that started, a huge trade. Carolina Panthers moving up from number 9 to number 1 to theoretically go get QB of their choice. So it's after the combine. We've seen some guys rising and falling. Big trade, big signings coming across. Figured best time to do our first post combine mock draft. But before we jump into that, why don't I tell you who we are? If you're looking for a guy that will wear his Seahawks jersey and not wear his patented mock draft beanie because he left it at his girlfriend's house, but is wearing a Sonics hat backwards in
Bring
the
them back.
colors of the Green Bay Packers, because we're all wondering what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, of course. It's me, your boy, Coach Red. You can find me on Twitter at the real Coach Red, on Instagram at the real underscore Coach Red. While you're at it, hop on over to YouTube, search the show, Kicking It with Coach Red. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, and for the love of God, give us a comment.
Comment, please.
If you're looking for like a GM type, maybe like the Sean McVay of GMs, if he was a GM, you might be looking for a guy like Lefty France.
What up, peeps? Follow me on Twitter at Lefty France, on Instagram at DFrance13. Go over and follow the pod on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. Follow us. Do it, freaking do it.
And if you're looking for a guy who you might call the puzzle master, because he's going to find out where all of these draft eligible pieces would fit so well onto these teams, but might not. He might be doing it like, when you're doing the puzzle and the people that are really good do it with just the pieces, they don't even have the picture up because you might not know anything about these guys' college careers. That's your boy, Killin Cain.
Yeah, I'm Cain. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at Killing Cain.
Follow him. Do it, freaking do it.
Do it. Freaking do it. All right. We're going to jump right in. 31 picks. The Miami Marlins. Jesus. Baseball's on the mind. It's going rampant. The Miami Dolphins, without a first round pick, still forfeited. I don't think it's coming back. So we've only got 31 first rounders. I'll lead it off with pick 1, which is not the Chicago Bears anymore. It's the Carolina Panthers. Teased it in the beginning, going after the quarterback of their choice. And I think it's going to be CJ Stroud. So good relationship with quarterback coach Josh McCown. And he's a guy that I think that is more ready. I've seen people saying maybe Anthony Richardson in this spot, but they've went with project type quarterbacks, running ability, revamp projects with Sam Darnold and with Baker Mayfield, and it hasn't worked out. It's full restart. You have great staff around him. CJ Stroud absolutely dazzled at the combine. Probably the best throwing at the combine that's ever been seen. So tested well, interviewed really well. Shoots up to pick number 1 for me.
Like it.
Lefty, pick 2, going down to Houston. Texans, where are they going?
I think everyone knows that the Houston Texans are in need of a quarterback. So
Shocker.
They are going to go with the next best quarterback in the draft, Bryce Young from Alabama. Like I was saying in the last one, he's just an agile, athletic quarterback, and he's smart and can lead a team, really. And I just think he fits in best with the Texans right now. I don't see him taking Anthony Richardson, even though Richardson did have a good combine. Bryce Young's the guy in Houston, hopefully for a long time.
And I think the key point there with Davis Mills being on roster, I think in most places you're going to need a specific coach or a veteran quarterback for Anthony Richardson, because when Davis Mills has that 2 interception game, people are going to be pining, and it could halt the progression of Anthony Richardson as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, Cain, pick 3. Arizona Cardinals. And I forgot to say there's no trades except for the ones that were already agreed upon before. Trademark TM, you got it. Cain, you're up.
All right. So the last 2 years for the Cardinals have not been great on the defensive end. Not getting Chandler Jones back, and then also JJ Watt retiring this year, so they're gonna go with best edge rusher in this draft out of Alabama, Will Anderson Jr. He's gonna slot in perfect under a new regime. You got a defensive minded head coach who just came off a stellar season with Philly. It's a great place for him to be. So Arizona will be taking Will Anderson Jr.
Pick 4. The Indianapolis Colts. I have them going with Anthony Richardson. We talked about him already a few times, and I think this fits. News came out today that they will be cutting Matt Ryan, so kind of goes against the veteran quarterback he can learn underneath. But I also said if there's a coach that fits, and you have Shane Steichen with Indianapolis, was the OC with the Eagles, rode him to the Super Bowl with a guy that was looked as a run first guy coming out of college in Jalen Hurts. So you're going to see some bumps and bruises. You'll probably see some heavy run going early. But when you've got not Jay Stu, I am losing my mind.
I'm glad it's not me this time.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas
Yeah.
instead. Good running mate in the backfield, can handle the load, and Anthony Richardson can do things with his legs early on and continue to develop in the passing game. And I think that as this grows, you go get him a number 1 wide receiver, just like you did with Jalen Hurts, and it puts you in a good spot going forward. So that's the pick there. Pick 5, our Seattle Seahawks. Lefty France, who they taking?
Edge rusher, Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech. Don't think they're going Jalen Carter with all the outside issues that are going on with him, but Tyree Wilson's a huge body, can disrupt the run game and get sacks for us. I think this is honestly almost better than Jalen Carter. Yeah, shots fired, hot takes.
Bam, bam, bam.
But I think he'd fit in great with the Seahawks defense. And truthfully, we are struggling with Shelby Harris leaving, but at the D line, interior defensive line. But I think edge rusher just creates so much havoc in the backfield and in the run game. So going with Tyree Wilson's a great pick.
Well, and picking up Draymond Jones, who's that inside out versatility guy, and Jaron Reed, who plugs into the middle as well. So
it
kind of
really
opens up avenues for you to not go Jalen Carter at pick 5.
It really filled some holes that, like you said, we lost Shelly Harris. We'll insert Jaron Reed. And now you look at this D line, and they're young and they're gonna be fast. So
yes, sir.
I like it. Cain, where we going at pick 6 with the Detroit Dannies?
I was just about to say that.
Are you gonna pick a Dan here? Wild card.
Dan.
I think he did fall in this draft further than most people would think. They don't care about the outside issues. They're gonna pick Jalen Carter out of Georgia. I mean, what's to say about the guy? He was fantastic at Georgia, and now you're gonna pair him up with Aiden Hutchinson and the rest of this young defense. Like, yeah, give me that. They're gonna be unstoppable this year. So that is my pick for the Detroit Dannies.
Love it. The next pick is the Las Vegas Raiders, and this one was a little tough to mock because of the moves that they've made. They go get Jacoby Myers. They sign Jimmy G. So I was like, yeah, you know what? We're going to go tackle. I said, nope, we're going to take Will Levis because Jimmy G is a guy that is a very serviceable starter, but with the structure of his deal, there's kind of that opt out after a year type of thing. Will Levis could be the future of this team because with the contracts they have, with Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, not Darren Waller anymore, but Hunter Renfrow, you're going to need, and now Jacoby Meyer, you're going to need a quarterback that's going to be on a cheaper deal. And I think Will Levis gives you that upside. I think that he's a younger version of Derek Carr with a higher athletic ceiling than he brought to the table. So I think the Vegas could really get behind this one. And as a guy that at one point we thought could have been quarterback 1 or 2 in the draft, who slots in at QB4 now. Oh, mock draft season's how you change weekly.
Yeah.
All right, pick 8. We've got the Atlanta Falcons. They've been spending some money, but it's time to go to the draft board. Lefty, where are they going?
They're going to go with cornerback Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon. The guy is so fast and has so much potential. Could easily become a cornerback 1 in a couple of years, maybe if not this year, honestly. Just super fast, can recover off anything, close gaps on receivers, and even in special teams, they could have him come off the edge and block kicks. So I think he's a great fit for the Falcons, and they're kind of needing a corner at this point. So Christian Gonzalez.
I like it. All right, Cain. All the way down at pick 9, we've got the Chicago Bears.
So the Chicago Bears made that huge trade with Carolina and got DJ Moore in that trade. So you have Justin Fields. I forget who their backup running back was last year, who completely
Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert. And then you have DJ Moore, wide receiver 1, Chase Claypool, gonna line him up outside. So you're gonna have DJ Moore and Chase Claypool and Darnell Mooney in the slot. Well, one thing I've said time and time again is they need to protect the quarterback. Justin Fields has a lot of talent, but he needs to be upright to show it. So they're gonna go with a tackle out of Georgia, Broderick Jones. I mean, they need offensive line help. And this is a guy who's going to come in and absolutely battle in the trenches. Georgia has this really weird thing of pumping D linemen and O linemen out of their system, and this is just going to be another product of it. So they're going tackle.
I like it. All right, next pick, we've got the Philadelphia Eagles picking at spot 10. I'm going corner. I know that James Bradbury is back, but Darius Slay has requested permission to seek a trade, which I think will be facilitated at some point. So I'm going to find a new starter, and that's going to be Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois. And what I like about Devin Witherspoon is his ball skills are good, but the dude just smacks guys around. He's going to be a guy that play man, play zone, be a big hitter, can be a difference maker, can learn from James Bradbury, who's been a very good corner in this league, to help solidify this defense, because there's been an exodus of defensive players from Philadelphia so far. They had a ton of guys that were up in free agency. So although they get Bradbury back, I don't think Slay's going to be back around. So go ahead and go get me Devin Witherspoon with Fighting Illini. All right. Pick number 11. Lefty, where are the Tennessee Titans going?
They're going to go receiver Quentin Johnston out of TCU. Another big body receiver that can really make any catch. Also a fast guy. Something that the Titans really need right now, honestly, is someone that can go make those jump ball plays. I think they compared him to Alshon Jeffrey. So those are that's the guy that the Titans need right now. They've got Treylon Burks, a good kind of slot receiver type guy. But yeah, right now they need someone that can go make deep ball plays and just jump over anyone that's near, So he has a great catch radius too. So I think Quentin Johnston is a great pick and fit for the Titans.
And I know in the last mock we went offensive tackle here, but with Taylor Lewan not being back with the team, I was like, perfect spot to put another tackle. But they signed Andre Dillard on a 3-year, like $33 million deal. So they kind of plug that hole in free agency to open them up to go get another young playmaker on the perimeter.
Yo.
All right. Cain, we are going to Houston at pick 12. Where are they going?
They're also going receiver. They are taking Jackson Smith and Jigba out of the Ohio State Buckeyes. So you drafted your quarterback of the future. Now you need to get him a solidified weapon because you never know how Brandon Cooks is going to be.
Ghost of Robert Woods.
They need a for sure wideout in the squad. They've got a young offense, especially you need help with the receiver side so Damian Pierce can explode. And Jigba really fits that role, and he's a guy who, prior to last year being injured, he was an animal. So I'm saying they're going wide receiver.
Pick 13, the New York Giants. I think this is potentially a repeat from last time, but we still got them locked in at Paris Johnson out of the Ohio State. And as Cain said,
the Jets.
Buckeyes.
Yeah, the Jets. Did I say Giants?
You sure did.
Losing my mind here today,
one of the New York teams.
Yeah, one of those ones, the green ones.
Yeah.
So slots in perfectly because you still have Mekhi Becton. George Fant's contract is up. Mekhi Becton has been injured and underperforming. It's kind of a last chance. I think Paris Johnson slots into your right tackle to start and can transition to left tackle over time. Whoever you're going to have playing quarterback, whether that's going to be Aaron Rodgers or Zach Wilson, you're going to need to keep them upright. And I think that Paris Johnson gives you the best opportunity to do so, especially with them taking Lefty's man crush on the free agent wish list of Alan Lazard going over there. They've addressed some of their playmaker needs to pair that with Breece Hall in the backfield and Garrett Wilson out in the receiving game. I think that Paris Johnson just fits in very well with this team.
With Lazard going there, that's one check mark on Aaron Rodgers' wish list.
Hey, his favorite buddy Nathaniel Hackett is there already.
That's two. My wish list was those guys to be my friends.
Clip it. Man,
don't worry, we're your friends.
Yeah, that's even better. That's all I could ask for.
Even better than NFL players. Wow, yeah. High praise.
High praise there.
Lefty, maybe you want this guy to be your friend, but you're gonna have to travel to Boston area because the New England Patriots are drafting him at pick 14. Who is it?
Edge rusher Miles Murphy out of Clemson, the Tigers. He's also an NFL size guy, can really just step in and make plays. Something that really the Patriots could use is another edge rusher right now. I don't think they still do. They have Judon still?
Yep.
So Judon and Miles Murphy could be
game wreckers.
A problem. Yeah. Yeah, this guy's just a big body dude that can also get in the backfield and just cause havoc alongside Judon. So I think those two could really be crazy together. So we're going Miles Murphy.
Cain, pick 15 to my hat colors, Green Bay Packers. Where are they going?
Well, if Aaron Rodgers stays, the only weapon he has is Christian Woods, right?
Christian Watson. And what about Romeo Doubs?
You know what? We're just gonna look at Watson. He needs another weapon if he's gonna stay. and they are going to go tight end out
Or
of
Jordan Love
Notre
needs a weapon.
or Jordan Love. They are going to go tight end out of Notre Dame. Michael Mayer.
John's brother. You know, the one that talks about bodies being wonderlands and stuff.
I mean, he's a pretty solid tight end when
He
you
can do
look
it
at
all.
his college stats. He was top 50 in receptions, 81st in yards, 18th in touchdowns. Little Statosaurus Rex for you
I was
there.
gonna say, you showed up.
But Green Bay usually likes a good, sturdy tight end, and he fits the mold. So they're going tight end. They need another weapon on that offense.
Okay. The next guy we're going to go with here to the Washington Commanders, even though they made a signing at tackle in Andrew Wiley following Eric Bieniemy over to the Commanders. I would tell you who it is, but I'm going to let Cain do it to see if he can get it right this time.
It's
Cain,
Peter Skoronski.
Peter Skoronski.
Yes, sir.
They don't need their biggest need isn't at tackle, but I think Skoronski can be a guy that can start on the interior guard for you right here, right now. And they kind of missed that after Thuney went to the Chiefs. So I think that giving them a guy that can start inside, work his way out to the perimeter when you have these guys come up for contracts and stuff like that, because I believe they still have Charles Leno as well. So being able to have a young guy that starts in the interior, learns the scheme, big body guy that has the size of a tackle but the arms of a guard. Peter Skoronski slots in perfectly for this team because whoever's playing quarterback, because right now it's Sam Howell, and they don't have many avenues to go get that high profile guy. Let's build the team up around them so that way we can go make a play for a quarterback. Or Sam Howell might just impress the pants off us this year. We don't know. All right, next pick. The Pittsburgh Steelers, pick 17. Lefty, where are we going?
Going cornerback. I almost said quarterback. Cornerback, Joey Porter Jr. out of Penn State, the Nittany Lions.
I like how we're just gonna go with it. Do we need to go back? Peter Skoronski, Northwestern Wildcats.
But yeah, I mean, Joey Porter Jr. has been around the NFL his whole life, with his dad being a former Pro Bowler. Physical corner that can just cause havoc for the receivers, and something that the Steelers could really use right now as a corner. And I think he can go in and honestly make plays right away. So he's got a lot of potential to become a cornerback one as well. So I think Joey Porter Jr. is a great pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Like it. All right, Cain, we're going to Detroit again. Where are they going at pick 18?
They're staying the course of defense and taking cornerback out of Mississippi State, Emmanuel Forbes. Dan Campbell's just having a heyday with this draft. First, you're getting Jalen Carter. Now you're getting Emmanuel Forbes. You're getting an absolute ball hawk, especially to be on the other side of Jeff Okudah. You really need a guy who has closing speed and is just absolutely phenomenal hands. He had 6 picks last year, tied for the 3rd most picks in college. That's a lot in the NFL when you look at the grand scheme of things on a season. He also had 3 touchdowns last year. So the dude has breakaway speed, and this young defense is going to excel this year with Emmanuel Forbes on the team.
All right, pick 19. We're going down to not Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay now. And going Brian Bresee, defensive lineman, Clemson Tigers. And this is a guy that I want to pair next to Vita Vea, who has been described as a dancing bear on the interior. I want to pair that with Brian Bresee, who is solid lockdown. He's another former 5-star guy. I think that he would slot well in this team. I think that you're going to be a little bit more of an adventure year on offense. So let's solidify the defense for that next push, whether that's going to be Kyle Trask at quarterback or Blaine Gabbert still hanging around there. I think what move are they going to make? I think that building up your defense really sets you up for the future as well. Defense wins championships. Let's get quality pieces to pair on this line. And when they had Ndamukong Suh, who was more in his prime when they won the Super Bowl, closer to it, next to Vita Vea, that team was lights out in the middle. So let's bring that back and bring Brian Bresee with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Lefty, I don't know how this keeps happening, but you get all the Seahawks picks. So at pick 20, where are the Seahawks going?
They're going to go defensive tackle Kalijah Cansey out of Pittsburgh, the Panthers.
Love it.
This guy has shot up the draft board, honestly, and I think a lot of his comparisons are to Aaron Donald, which who doesn't want a Aaron Donald 2.0 on their team?
Give him to me. Just give him to me.
Just give him to me. And our defensive line our interior could really use him. I think he could honestly step in and make big plays for us off the bat. And yeah, I just think this could really help our defensive struggles right now. Don't think we really need offense, but the defensive line has been an issue, and I think he could really turn that around.
Plus his athletic profile's off the charts, because I think you profile edges as guys that can play linebacker as well. But I think he had the fastest 40 time out of any guy that's a primary defensive lineman in the combine's history.
Yeah, his 40 time was like 0.2 less or slower than Joey Porter Jr.'s. Like,
that's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I think he can really make a lot of plays for us this year if we go with him. We're able to get him.
All right. Next pick, we've got the Los Angeles Chargers at pick 21. Cain, where are they going?
They're going running back from the Texas Longhorns. Bijan Robinson.
This is better.
Nailed it.
It wasn't Bijan.
Bijan. With Eckler asking for a trade, this just seems right. He's the clear-cut best running back in the class. And usually you're not taken in the first round if you're not an absolute stud. So you're looking at a guy who can break tackles and outspeed guys. And I think the Chargers offense needs this. They really do. Their receivers are just getting older. Justin Herbert's just getting better. And their O-line is young. So why not get an explosive player like this? They keep getting short of the playoffs or getting first rounded. They need this extra push. We look at how good they were with Melvin Gordon. This is how good they can be with Bijan Robinson.
Better. If Eckler's off the table, who's not only been a standout fantasy player from my team, but the one thing that Bijan brings to the table, he does have that versatility to catch the ball in the backfield, and his contact balance is probably the best in the class, probably one of the better contact balance since Saquon Barkley. He's the most complete guy since Saquon Barkley, and getting him at 21 can be considered a steal with what he can do for that offense.
21, can you do something for me?
All right, pick 22. How about that?
Yeah.
We are going to go for the Baltimore Ravens, and I believe this is a repeat. We're going to go with Lucas Van Ness, edge from the Iowa Hawkeyes. And with Van Ness, he's a guy that I think we mocked here before and just kind of seemed to fit, but he had a great combine, kind of is profiling like a JJ Watt type player. And one thing that Baltimore does is they do take these raw type of defensive end type players and turn them into really good starters. And until the whole mess gets sorted out with Lamar Jackson, let's just funnel more stuff into that defense because you play in a tough division. You're going up against the Steelers, who still had a winning record. Tomlin never has a losing record. You've got the Browns, who are going to have a full year of Deshaun Watson in the added players that they've been getting. And then the Bengals, who are the beasts of the North right now. So you're going to need to be able to stop people. And I think whoever they can, whether it's Lamar or if they've got to go a different route, I think that Van Ness helps this team get better defensively for this year's current team and in future. All right, Lefty France, the Minnesota Vikings, pick 23. Where are they going?
They're going edge rusher out of Georgia, the Bulldogs, Nolan Smith. Honestly, if you want to improve your defense, it's been a trend the last few years to get someone off of the Georgia Bulldogs defense. This guy is a fast edge rusher, and I mean, I feel like a broken record, but can also make huge plays in the backfield, break up the run game, make sacks, and just cause havoc. They compared him to Samson Ebukam, which Eagle alum, Eastern Eag,
Whoop, whoop.
E-whoop. But
God.
yeah, that guy, I mean, Nolan Smith can go in and just cause a bunch of havoc in the backfield. And yeah, I just think he would fit in the best there. So go Nolan Smith.
Is rising since the combine. Tests really well athletically, so he's healthy off that injury. And his character's been probably his highest trait out there. So a guy that you definitely want on your defense, especially one that struggled as much as the Vikings did last year.
For sure.
Cain, pick 24, going down to Duval, Jacksonville Jaguars. Where are they going? Pick 24.
They're going defense, and they're going to go cornerback out of Maryland, Deontay Banks. The Jags have had this repeat history type of deal where they get versatile players. And this is another guy. He can cover, he can pressure the quarterback and get sacks.
Okay.
Hey, he
I
can
believe
pressure.
you.
Got
Looking at the
half
stats,
sack
I know
last
you're a
year.
stats guy.
He had a half sack last year. Only had one interception. But this dude is an athletic monster. And I think that Jacksonville is getting one hell of a player.
You had the best
Deontay
athletic
Banks.
testing at the combine for corners.
Well, there you go.
Nailed it.
There you have it.
The more you know.
I looked up some of the players that I didn't know a ton about, but he's a guy that's been creeping up boards just because his athletic profile is just bananas. Okay.
Straight nanners.
Hopefully I won't screw this one up, but it's the New York Giants. Giants. That's right. Giants. And made a splash move today. Going and getting Darren Waller to pair with Daniel Bellinger. Give me some more weapons for Danny Nichols to throw it about 5 yards down the field too. And I want a yak monster. And it's going to be Zay Flowers for me. This is a guy that catches the ball over the middle field, turn up field, go get yards, go get yards, go get yards. And if you look at this team, they're kind of morphing into kind of like a New York, or not New York. Man, I got New York on the brain now. New England Patriots, because Brian Dable was in that squad. And you look at some of the more productive years, they didn't have those guys that were burning it down the field all the time. Like Julian Edelman was wide receiver 1. And if he caught the ball before 15 yards very often, color me shocked, because he was one of those yak guys. And I think that with the limitations that you see, even though he got the big deal with Daniel Jones, he's a guy that's most accurate, short and intermediate. So let's find a guy who thrives there. We can pair him with Sterling Shepard and Darren Waller that can kind of open the field from the middle to give you some more opportunities to sneak underneath of him and then go get those yards. Zay Flowers all day. The Dallas Cowboys at pick 26. Lefty, where are they going?
They're going wide receiver Jordan Addison out of USC, the Trojans, the Trojan horse. This guy is a great route runner. People are comparing him to Tyler Lockett. I think he could fit in great with the Cowboys, with Michael Gallup kind of being hit or miss. Jordan Addison can step in and kind of create more space for CeeDee Lamb to make bigger plays. And if they're trying to lock down CeeDee Lamb, Jordan Addison can burn you. So I think this is a great fit for Jordan Addison and the Cowboys, really. So
It gives Dak another weapon to not throw to.
yeah, exactly.
Jeez. And Jordan Addison profiled a lot higher in our last mock, but didn't have the best combine, kind of ran a slower 40 time than was expected. But with Jerry Jones, he loves big name players. When CeeDee Lamb fell to him, he's like, I got to take CeeDee Lamb. I know that we've got players, and they end up shipping some guys out. Jordan Addison's too big of a name for a position of need for Jerry Jones to pass up in this situation.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, pick 27, the Buffalo Bills. Cain, where are they going?
So they had a little bit of glaring holes over the year, and one of them, in my opinion, was on the offensive line. I felt like Josh had to run for his life at most points in the year. He led his team in rushing. So they're going with a guard out of Florida, Osiris Torrance. I believe we had him higher in our last draft. No, we had him lower.
I think we had him right here.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there I go, using my brain again.
Yeah, you made this pick because you wanted to call him something way different. You got Osiris right, but you're like Torian.
They need a guy who's going to come in and absolutely battle, and I think Torrance is the perfect pick here. I mean, you need offensive line help. You don't know what your backfield's really looking like, and you just need the big help, and I think he solidifies that line.
Next pick 28, going to Cincinnati. Bengals, big position of need for them after the first 2 days of legal tampering, and that is the safety position. So from the Alabama Crimson Tide, Brian Branch, super versatile guy. You compare him with Dax Hill, who's another versatile guy. Dax Hill is a little bit smaller, so you can play that more over the top free type role. Brian Branch can be that box safety type guy for you. Leader of the Tide's secondary, and losing Von Bell, losing Jesse Bates, all within 2 days. Big glaring hole. You made that pick last year for Dax Hill, which I thought was phenomenal because you knew that you were going to lose at least one of these guys. Wasn't expecting to. Let's fill that hole right now in the first round with the guy that I think absolutely fills that Jesse Bates hole on your team.
I agree. This is going to be huge for that defense, and it's going to be a strong case for them making it to the Super Bowl.
I like it a lot. All right, pick 29. Oh, this is the fun one. This is pick 29 via the San Francisco 49ers, who traded it to the Dolphins, who traded it to the Broncos, who then traded it to the Saints. Lefty France, where are the Saints going at 29?
They're going to go tight end Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. The Utes, another big body tight end, kind of lacks in the run blocking, but can make huge plays. He also is a huge threat on vertical and across the field plays too. And the Saints love to throw to tight ends. Like last year, Juwan Johnson had multiple games with multiple touchdowns. This is set up for Dalton Kincaid to come in and become that guy. But yeah, it can be a jump ball guy as well. And yeah, I think fits well with the New Orleans Saints.
With Derek Carr in there, he's a guy that loves hitting the tight end.
Yep.
I didn't want him throwing to a tight end / quarterback / running back.
Yeah.
Let's get a true tight end because that's where Derek Carr feasts on the field.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, Cain, pick 30. We got the Eagles again. Where are they going?
Oh, they're going to add to their defensive front out of Ohio State edge rusher, Will McDonald the fourth. This dude is an athletic specimen. He can pressure the quarterback, can force fumbles. I mean, you're going to get around 10 sacks a year from him. And you got Brandon Graham back. You have Hassan Reddick still. And you're just going to
Josh
keep.
Sweat.
Yeah, and you're just going to keep adding to this defensive front and keep staying young and fresh. And just watch out. This defense is going to be nutty this year.
Yeah, it is.
And I wanted to go D tackle because losing Javon Kinlaw is huge, but there's just not a guy that profiles at good value at this spot. I think the value for McDonald, who after the combine is shooting up boards as well, is just a big time guy to go in and fill those holes. Because Brandon Graham's not going to be there after this year. That's for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Last pick, pick 31. We have got the Kansas City Chiefs. And with this pick, we are going tackle. And we're going tackle out of the Oklahoma Sooners. And that would be Anton Harrison. Athletic tackle that could play on the right or left side. So with the Chiefs, they pick up Juwan Taylor from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's played on the right side. You probably expect him to slot there. They did not come to terms with Orlando Brown. They did not franchise tag them. I don't think that they have the money to sign him, especially after the signing of Juwan Taylor. So you're going to need a guy that profiles as a prototypical left tackle. And I think at this point in the draft, Anton Harrison is the guy that profiles best for that. This is a team that is in Super Bowl or bust mode every single year since Patrick Mahomes became the starter. They've been in the AFC Championship game or Super Bowl every single year since he's become the starter.
3 out of the 5 years.
3 out of the 5 for what?
That's how many times they've been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they've also reached the AFC Championship game every year.
Yes.
So with that, you got Patty Ice because he's going to have a whole lot of rings on his finger and be dripping in diamonds. So you got to keep him upright. You got to keep this. You brought in Orlando Brown. You franchise tagged him once. Obviously not bringing him back. So this is a guy that fills that big left tackle size hole on this team and really helps you going forward.
Yep.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this installment of mock drafts with the Kickin' It crew. So tell us how we did.
Let us know.
And if you want to do that, here's where you find us. You can find me, your boy, Coach Red, on Twitter at @TheRealCoachRed, on Instagram at @TheReal_CoachRed, or hop on over to YouTube, search Kicking It with Coach Red, like, subscribe, bell notifications so you know when the new episodes drop. And you know what? Leave a comment while you're at it. You won't do it.
You won't.
I bet you won't.
Dare you.
I'm gonna mix it up here. Cain,
Double.
where are you at?
You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at Killing Cain.
I think I'm gonna mix it up here going forward. Lefty, you always got to do it because you have the best catch line out of any of us.
Yeah,
the catchphrase, because people are caught by your phrase.
Oh yeah.
Where you
I
at?
have a tendency to do that. You can follow me on Twitter at Lefty France, on Instagram at DFrance13. Go over and follow the pod on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. Hey, follow us. Do it, frickin' do it.
There it is.
You love to see it.
You love it. Love to see it.
And as always, stay fresh.
Stay fresh, peeps.
Peace.